What's going on, people? Welcome back to the CEOCAST, the #1 place in the world for showcasing business and entrepreneurship. Now, firstly, before we start the video, it's a different type of video. Before we start, I just want to say a massive thank you for hitting 50,000 subscribers in the time frame that I wanted it. So I can't thank you lot enough, and I think we're close to 60 right now. So keep subscribing. We're only about 1,000 subscribers away, so keep on subscribing so we can hit 60 as soon as possible. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and say thank you very much for supporting, for constantly watching the podcast, for coming back every single week and week out. And we will be back with the podcast soon. However, I just thought, seeing as we hit 50,000 subscribers, I'd give you like a recap of some of the best podcasts that I've done and some of the best stories that we've heard. So before we get started, I just want to know in the comments, what is your best podcast on CEOCAST today? I believe we've done 78 podcasts now, which is insane. So let me know which one is your favorite. Now, I think the best place to kick this off is where we done the last podcast with Nico Leonard, the YouTube watch expert. Now, if you've seen that podcast, you would know that Nico has definitely been through hardship and he's definitely found the ease at the end. But if you haven't seen that podcast, I'll give you a quick breakdown. Nico is a watch dealer based in Ireland, originally from Netherlands, selling watches from the ranges of like £200 all the way to £2 million. And if you watched the podcast, you would have seen the one-of-one AP Royal Oak worth 2 million quid. And it's just amazing to see like how much networking you got to go through to see how you can get them sort of watches, acquire them sort of deals, and to get the job done in the end. I mean, he knows what he's doing. He's done it for years, and he knows everything you need to know about watches. If you've seen him on YouTube, you know that he knows every single stat, every single price tag. He roasts everyone for the watches. He baits out people for the fakes. He hates the bust downs. Nico is just a character and a half, and I can't lie, I've got a rating for how real he is, because it's hard to see that nowadays on social media. So Nico, if you watch this, keep going, bro, because yeah, your content's sick and your story's even better. One of the key things I took away from that podcast myself was the fact that there is someone who could be letting you down in your life, who may be dragging you down in your business, and regardless of who they are, they gotta go. They gotta go. And in his case, unfortunately, it was his ex-girlfriend, so it's unfortunate because you now gotta see where Nico is right now, which is peak. However, Nico's a lot happier. His business is thriving. He's doing better than ever, and he's always killing it. How many subscribers is he on right now? Let me check. Because when I done that podcast with him, he hit 700,000 subscribers on that day. And I reckon he's gone through the roof since. Let me see right now. He is on Nico, 822 flipping hell. Man grew about 150 subs. Can't even say it. 150,000 subscribers in about a space of a month. Can we do that, please? On his channel.
But the watch you see here has never seen, a camera has never got this watch on camera. This is the first time this watch has ever been seen, right? On camera. This is a piece unique, Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, right? Made in full platinum, and look at the symmetry on the dial, right?
Yeah, that does look beautiful.
Looks beautiful.
But yeah, if we're talking watch experts and watch dealers and stuff, I cannot mention the two other watch dealers that we've done, and that is Trotters and that is Chrono. Both big love to both of them. Chrono, he's got an amazing story. Loads of stories to tell about robberies, about life, about where he's been and whatnot. And everyone always keeps demanding for a part 2. So I think we definitely got to have that. Chrono, if you're watching this, listen, shout me, DM me. You got my WhatsApp, you got everything. Let's make a part 2 happen.
I looked at her page and she's like a model in Dubai. I was looking at it like, well, it's not bad, do you know what I mean? Like, cool.
What, the watch or her?
Her. I was looking at it like, all right, cool. My head was a bit like, yeah, all right, cool. To get this model talking about watches, whatever. I was like, you thinking, yeah, sounds great. But yeah, cool. Let's crack on with the conversation. She was like, let you know when they're coming to Dubai. Agreed a price. Messaged me about 2 months later. Hi, they'll be in Dubai tomorrow. Blah, blah, blah. I said, you know what? Come and meet you today and we can discuss about it tomorrow. So,
and Trotters, once again, obviously one of the best jewelers in London. You can't slate the work that they do. And Trotters, if you do see this, Judd, Alex or Callum, whoever was watching this right now, listen, sort out my date just.
That's crazy money. And that's a simple watch. Not a Daytona, not complicated, it's date and time.
Yeah, but I feel like Patek's like on that prestige level.
Yeah, Patek's elite. But Rolex.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like Patek is like, I feel like Patek make it known that they only want their clients to be
limited numbers as well.
The multi rich.
But yeah, that's it for the watch dealers really. Watches, everyone's wearing watches. You see everyone buying watches nowadays, entrepreneurs, rappers, whoever it may be. Everyone's got a watch in them, whether it's a bust down, whether it's a plain Jane. Everyone's got their own taste, everyone's got their own preference, but at the end of the day, you need someone to supply it. So I'm glad that I could have Nico, Chrono and Trotters on board on the podcast to show you lot how it all happens. So if you're watching this, chances are you're an entrepreneur or founder trying to figure out how to successfully navigate the rocket ship that is growth. Well, worry no more, because our friends over at Wix, yes, the website and business building platform, definitely know a thing or two about turning a startup business into a global organization serving millions. They've been at it for over 16 years and now they want to share what they've learned with you. And even better, because you guys like podcasts, they're doing it in a micro podcast series called Ready For Takeoff by Wix, where the company's founders and leaders across all boards from HR, finance and education share super short lessons and anecdotes designed to help you build better products and teams faster and support your customer base like never before. So make sure you tune in to Ready For Takeoff by Wix, a new podcast that will help supercharge your business, one episode at a time. So subscribe and follow the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to CEOCAST right now. Now I can't not mention him because a lot of you might have come from his podcast, and that was done way back in 2020, August, I believe, something like that. Aleem, if you're watching this, shout out to you, because you came on the podcast when I had around, I think I had about 1,000 subscribers or something like that. Something so minute, so minor, but yet he still showed love to come on the podcast. And what a story it was. Right now, I believe that podcast is sitting on 340,000 views. So Aleem, shout out to you, coming on, showing love, and maybe in the future, we'll do a part 2 whenever you're ready.
The Bugatti Chiron is a £3 million car.
Yeah.
Okay. It's £25,000 a day. At the moment, that's what I've priced it at. But because I'm the only one with the car,
you could price it at what you like.
Supply and demand, how we move forward with it. £25,000 a day. You get to experience a car that would cost somebody £3 million to buy.
Now, the reason why you all clicked on this video, Top G, Big Tate. What do I think of Tate? Now, whether you love him, whether you hate him, you could not deny the fact that the guy is a marketing genius. He's like, I've never seen anything like that before in my life, from any business, from any entrepreneur, from any individual. I've not seen marketing done on that level. The guy is so clever, so clued on. Like I said, whether you hate him, whether you love him, you can't deny the fact that he's marketed himself in a mad way, been able to monetize it, making money from it. Like, that's, if you could do the same, I know you definitely would. And if you watch the podcast, most chances you probably have, because you clicked on this video, you heard him say he makes about $3.3 million a month. Obviously, you got to bear in mind, before the camera started rolling, we had a conversation, we had a chat, and obviously you can see that he is still the same guy, but obviously just on a toned down level, because he knows how to work the camera, he knows how to work social media, he knows how to make the clips happen. And if you go on TikTok or Instagram, there is no way you can go on any platform without seeing Tate's face. And for that, I got to condone him, because he's absolutely killed it with that marketing strategy. It's unreal. Like I said, I ain't seen that done before in my life. And people don't understand this, right? If you hate him and you're commenting stuff and you're helping the algorithm for that video in particular to get more views, you're doing the job for him. Like, the hate is what he wants to see at the same time. Exactly what he done with Cheyenne Reynolds in that episode of Grilling, which is also a sick episode, by the way. He wound her up. Yeah. And he's doing the same thing with all you lot on the internet. For the people who don't like him, he's winding you all up. But at the end of the day, it's getting him the views that he wants, and it's resulting him to money, which obviously in his favor makes sense. One of the things that people can do is get a referral code for someone else to join Hustlers University. Yep. And that's why they're making TikToks, because if you check the pinned comment on there, it says join Hustlers University with this referral code.
Correct.
So and so like that.
Correct. Yeah.
That's
so
mad.
Inside of Hustlers University, we have 18 modern wealth creation methods. So we teach how to make money 18 different ways. And when I say modern wealth creation methods, is because a lot of the wealth creation methods that you're going to hear from older people simply don't work anymore.
Such as property.
Property. I mean, of course, the old guy is going to sit there and go, save your money, put it in a savings account, get a mortgage. Bro, of course that worked for you. You were putting money in a savings account, getting 4% interest. Yeah. Now they won't even give us 1%. You're putting your money in a savings account. You bought a house for 85 grand. Now it's worth $500,000. And at the time you bought it for 85 grand, you were probably earning 30 grand a year. Yeah. Now I'm earning 40 grand a year. The house has cost 10 times more. I get no interest on my money. So everything you're telling me is outdated. It doesn't work anymore. If you're going to follow the path that your parents followed, you're not going to ever become rich. You need modern ways to make money, modern wealth creation.
Now, obviously, after doing the podcast with him, I'm not going to lie, I did come out of there thinking I need Bugatti money. I think everyone who was in that room, there was about 7-8 of us, came out and thought we need to up our game to another level. And every single person who was in that room was a business owner, part of wherever we was, or the sponsors, whatever it may be. Every single person came out of there thinking they need to get their money up. And that's the Tate effect, making you want to get your money up, which is great for all of us. We all need to get our money up at the end of the day. We all need to progress. We all need to strive for success. We all need to get to the next level that we've all been trying to get for a long time. And like I said in the podcast, someone like Tate motivates me because he says it straight in how it is and real to the core. However, Don't get me wrong, there are definitely some points in the podcast that I did not agree with. Some of the things, not necessarily on my podcast, but on other podcasts where he said stuff and I don't necessarily agree with it. However, like I said, he's doing it for marketing purposes. He knows exactly what he's doing. Whether he believes in thoughts truly himself, I don't know. No one can really answer that apart from himself. And he's not really going to answer that on camera now, is he? Even towards the end of the podcast, Tate made it seem like business is very, very simple and very, very easy. And when you think about it, after doing 78 podcasts with other entrepreneurs, I don't mean to say it in any type of way like there's no struggles or anything like that, but business is generally quite simple and easy. You just have to make it simple for yourself, make it work for you. For example, exactly what Tate said, just analyze everything around you where people are making money from you, wherever you're spending your money, whether it's in Starbucks, Netflix, whatever the case may be, gym. Someone else on the other end is making money off of you. All you've got to do is break that down and understand how they're making the money and make the money the same way.
You have to identify how you're getting famoosed, how you're getting finessed. That's how you do it. But most people just walk through life getting finessed left, right, and center, giving all their money up. And then, oh, how did that happen?
You got to learn to finesse other people.
Yeah, but it's not finessing in a negative way.
It's in a good way.
It's a good way. You have to take money from other people. That's the only way you're going to make money. Yeah. You have to take it. There's a pimp. And he said a really intelligent line. He said, business is just other people's money. That's all business is. I want to start a business. So you want other people's money. That's what you want. So how are they going to give it to you? You have to think about it. Nobody thinks about it. And the easiest way to think about it is to think how you're giving yours away. That's a mental model you should adopt.
Yeah.
And you'll end up with loads of business ideas. Business ideas are everywhere. It's just execution, which is difficult.
So yes, he does make his points in a very, what's the word? Like a vulgar way sort of thing. However, the point is still there. He might say it in a way that you might not like it, but you get the point. The guy knows what he's on. And look, a lot of people are making money from Hustlers. This is not, by the way, firstly, let me just say this. This is not a sponsor for Hustlers University. Tate hasn't told you to make this video. However, there are people making money from Hustlers University simply off the back of making TikTok videos of him, getting the referral code, getting the money from the referral code, and happy days for everyone, essentially, right? Because Tate gets the views, Tate gets the money, the creator for making the TikToks gets the money. Happy days for everyone. So Hustlers University is probably working in that sense. I can't tell you exact figures, but from what Tate's told me on the podcast, about $3.3 million a month and about 64,000 students retaining. Meaning that they're not just coming in and leaving after 1 month because they're not getting the money's worth or anything like that. People are staying because they want to learn about different ways to make money. Now, the issue is here for me as CEOCAST. Who the hell do we get on after Tate? This is what I've been asking myself since I finished the episode of Tate. I was thinking, who the hell do we get on? And obviously right now, as we speak, that podcast is on 1.1 million views, which is flipping unreal. But who the hell tops that? Right now, there is no one that I can think of in the world at the moment, apart from someone like Elon Musk, who can top Tate's episode, because Tate is the go-to guy on the internet. He put up a picture the other day and the caption was, "I'm not an influencer, I'm an influential man." Bruv, it's facts. So yeah, overall, what do I think of Tate? Exactly what he says he is. Top G.
I don't know the price of anything I eat or buy. If it's not a house or a car, even most supercars, G, I don't even know. If I want the new Maserati, the MC20, the Spider, I'm just going to text my boy, yeah, fully spec, every option. And it's going to come out the bank and I ain't going to notice. Like, it doesn't make a difference. If I have 11.8 million or 11.4 million,
What difference
does it make? It doesn't mean anything. Yeah. So you get to a point where the whole world's free.
Now, one of the guys that I want to bring your attention to that's been on CEOCAST runs a company and a business called Fireway Pizza, Mario Aleppo. Now, from what the guys started and what the guys created and the beast that the business is, he's got the strategy right from the start. From starting one store, why don't I put my middle finger up, I don't know. From starting one store and now having over 120 locations in different countries, he definitely had the strategy from the get-go to franchise. And after doing the calculations in my head, the guy is making some serious dollar.
So yeah, I was looking for a franchise myself, had some money saved up and was going to open a Subway. And then at the last minute, after doing all the calculations and how much you can make and, you know, how many other Subways there are around, and I just kind of just at the last minute changed my mind.
But if you want to know more about his business and more about the strategy and how much he's making, you can do the calculations for yourself. Click this link up here right now and you can watch that podcast, because it is definitely one of the greatest podcasts that I've done. Definitely the most informative. If you want to start anything within the fast food industry, restaurant industry, wherever the case may be, go and watch that one, because I reckon you can learn a lot from that episode. You know what? I'm going for the list of podcasts right now. I'm on the CEOCAST YouTube channel, as you can see it on the back behind me, yeah? This one definitely deserves more views because the guy is a genius especially with his new company. It's one of the fastest growing companies within the UK, and that is the co-founder of Gymshark, Lewis Morgan, now also the chairman at Able Group. Now, obviously, if you watch podcasts, you probably would have seen a podcast from Ben Francis, and then obviously we had Lewis Morgan on my channel. So two completely different perspectives of how the business started, how the business ran and everything. It was definitely interesting to say the least, and maybe one day we can get Ben Francis on in the future to talk about his side of Gymshark and everything, because obviously he's still there right now. Gymshark itself, back in the beginning, set trends for most companies nowadays. Everyone's doing the influencer marketing. Gymshark done it when there was no influencer marketing in the first place. They invented it pretty much. They were one of the first ever e-com companies to take business to another level that no one else has ever seen before. And now we see Lewis doing the same for Able and other brands as well that he's involved in.
Washing pots for like a local restaurant and Burton's Menswear, and he was a pizza delivery driver for Pizza Hut. So when he was working, I was doing things, and when I was working, he was doing things. But obviously, we're still going to university, and we're still hustling on the side and doing other things because we didn't know if it was going to work. And had the other things took off, or at one point we were making like 30 grand a month from the Facebook.
Yeah.
If that we hadn't have got banned consistently, then we might not have ever re-picked up Gymshark because we were making so little money. We almost knocked it on the head multiple times.
So if you lot have been following CEOCAST on Instagram, which you should all do, by the way, if you haven't already, Reese Rabara agreed to do a podcast at 50,000 subscribers, and now we're close to 60,000. So Reese, if you're watching this, we got a podcast to do for the people who are watching this. If you want to see that, let's try and get 10,000 likes on this video, and I'll drop it next. But yeah, overall speaking, like I said, I just wanted to make this video to recap on the episodes that we've done. We hit 50,000 subscribers, which is always a milestone for me, a massive, massive figure. I mean, when you put 50,000 people in front of you, try and envision it, you can't envision it. It's a whole football stadium, essentially. So once again, I just want to thank every single one of you from the bottom of my heart for subscribing, for supporting, for doing all of that. And I want to continue to keep bringing you guests on guests on guests, better stories, entrepreneurs from all over the world, not just within the UK. Our plan is to take this global. So at some point this year, I'm definitely going to go over to America. I've been to Dubai a few times, but not properly for content. But this time I'm going to go purely for content, so that's gonna happen. And yeah, what I want you to do is, as you lot are the audience, I want you to let me know who you want to see on CEOCAST, whether it's your favorite artist, whether it's a footballer, whether it's a brand, whether it's whatever the case may be. Everyone has a story to tell, and you can relate everything to business, so it works perfectly for CEOCAST. So if you want to come on CEOCAST, or if you've got someone in mind, please drop it in the comments below, and I'll do my absolute best to make sure that that podcast happens. So this is just a recap of some of the podcasts I've done. So the last person that I want to give a shout out to, and thanks for coming on the podcast, because you made it seem pretty simple within the industry that you're in, right? And that is Property by Kazi. Now, that podcast might not have the most views on the channel. However, for me, sitting there in person, learning all about property from start to finish, Kazi literally made it as simple as possible to understand for a regular person like me or yourself. I rate everything that he does, property renovations, buys to flip. I don't know where you're watching this video from, but within the UK, the government are making it harder for buy to lets, for landlords. It's becoming a bit of a pain in the arse. So buy to flips, essentially exactly what Kazi does. It makes it seem pretty simple on the podcast.
If it's so obvious that it's a deal, then everybody's either bought it already, or it's gone to a bidding war because it's obvious and the price has gone up and then it's no longer a deal. So I would say, like, for me, like, work out what it is you mean by a deal. Like, do you want to do a house, a flat? Like, do you want to do the specific area? And then learn about like that area. And so you're able to spot a deal that maybe somebody else has missed. Because this thing in this property space is that you make your money from buying either what somebody else has missed or buying at the right price in the first place. So, that initial model I said of changing like a 1-bedroom flat into a 2-bedroom. The reason I could win that at auction is because I knew that that's what I was planning to do with it. The person that was looking to refurb it as a 1-bedroom flat, they couldn't outbid me because their end values didn't match mine. But if I've got a plan in place to increase the end value significantly without a significant level of spend, then it now makes that a deal for me. So I would say it doesn't matter whether or not you use your network to network with.
Obviously, there's a lot that goes into it that we don't see and that he might not talk about on the podcast. However, the way he articulates it and the way he speaks of it, and it is more than anything else, with all these entrepreneurs, not just Kazi, but every single one, it's about the passion that you have. If you got the passion for what you have and you love doing it and love waking up on a daily basis for doing it, this goes completely against everything Tate said, right? But at the end of the day, see, that's one of the points that I don't agree with him necessarily, because if you're passionate about something, you're going to work hard to make sure that it works. Not necessarily that you don't have to be motivated because you got a passion for it, but you will be motivated for it. You will love waking up. I love waking up every single day to do CEOcast, whether it's record a podcast, do admin work, whatever the case may be. I love doing it. And that's the thing with all these entrepreneurs. Everyone loves what they do. And that is why they're so successful in it, because they will happily wake up every single day early, do everything they need to do in their power to make sure that their business and their life is successful. But yeah, like I said, there's many entrepreneurs all over the world, and I can't wait to share their stories on this channel. So please, if you're watching this, I ask you please to subscribe, comment your feedback. Let me know who you want to get on the channel, whose story you want to see. And if you like this channel and you like what you see, share it to everyone else. I always said to myself that when I get 100,000 subs, I'll do a podcast on myself. However, at the rate that we're moving, we're probably going to hit that soon. So I might have to make it a milli. But no, all jokes aside, in all honesty, that's probably one of the most questions I always get asked. What's your story? What's your story? And that will come soon, one day on this channel. But right now, the focus ain't on me. It's about the people that I can bring to you. That sounded very nice when I said it. Other than that, we'll be back to the normal schedule of podcasts next week on Sunday the 17th of July, and I look forward to seeing every single one of you then. And obviously, on a final note, if you're doing Eid today, which I am, but I'm obviously got to be here to do this video, I just want to say Eid Mubarak to every single one of you who are celebrating. Hope you have a great one with your family and yourself. You know, the standard message basically that all your aunties broadcast to you on WhatsApp. That's it. Until then, I'll catch you lot on the next episode.